Cryptozoology is the study of hidden animals. We're going to talk about the Loch Ness Monster, aka Nessie. Based on all the sightings over the years, we thought it looked like a plesiosaur. You can see that it has a long neck with a slightly shorter tail. It has 4 flippers, a bit like a turtle. They lived in the sea hunting fish, but breathed air like whales and dolphins. They could also come on land, but wouldn't have been very quick. They could grow up to about 15 meters long. Plesiosaurs lived the same time as the dinosaurs and, supposedly, died out along with them about 65 million years ago. Things have changed though. Based on a DNA survey of the loch in 2018, the monster is in fact a giant eel. This eel is about 12 feet long, but if Nessie was an eel, he might be even longer than that. Another possibility is that Nessie is some form of oarfish. Oarfish are the world's longest bony fish. They are usually about 10 feet long, but can grow up to 36 feet long. Though they are saltwater fish, there have been reports of them entering rivers, so who knows? Now, even the most ardent believer in the Loch Ness Monster must accept that not all of the reported sightings are actually of the monster. So what else might account for some of the sightings? Well, it might surprise you to know that Loch Ness is subject to mirages. Basically, only the top layer of the loch varies with the air temperature throughout the year. The deeper part stays at a constant temperature of around 5.5 degrees. This can lead to mirages, meaning people can then think they are really seeing Nessie. Now, many sightings are actually in calm weather, which has the effect of making things look bigger than they actually are. Think, for instance, what a water bird with a long neck swimming in the water looks like in silhouette. See how similar this is to a silhouette of a plesiosaur in the water? Other sightings of Nessie can be boat wakes or even normal waves, animals such as deer swimming in the loch, or floating logs, or salmon, or even human swimmers. Some sightings, of course, are complete hoaxes. There have been sightings on the loch for a long time. The first sighting was actually in the year 565. This is Saint Columba, who was a Christian missionary to Britain way back in the 6th century. One day he was near here when he came across some of the local inhabitants burying a man who had been attacked by a savage water monster. Columba sent one of his men to swim out and get the dead man's boat, which had been left adrift. However, the monster had been waiting for another victim and started to attack the man. The man in Loch Ness was okay because St. Columba commanded the monster to leave him alone, which it did. So that is the first recorded sighting of Nessie. The more recent sightings of the monster started in 1933, when the first proper road was built along the loch. But even before that, there were legends in the area of a creature called the Kelpie, or water horse. This is a Kelpie. Some people think that the Kelpie legend was based on sightings of the monster. You can see he appears here as a black horse, though his appearance changes in different stories. When he appears as a horse, he waits by the loch for someone to jump on him. He then runs into the water with them on his back, and they are never seen again. Scary stuff. Okay, let's talk a bit more now about Loch Ness itself. It's nearly 23 miles long and contains more water than all the lakes and rivers in England and Wales added together. That's a lot of water. At its deepest, it is 754 feet deep, making it the second deepest loch in Scotland. The deepest loch is actually Loch Morar, which also has its own legend of a monster. But that's another story completely. Now, there are a couple of things left to say about Nessie. Though we usually talk of the Loch Ness Monster singular, there must, at some point anyway, have been more than one. At least a breeding pair, but probably a whole group of them. Secondly, and this is especially the case if there is more than one, Why hasn't proof been found despite all the organised searches that have been carried out? Well, one theory is there exists a secret cult who worship the monster or monsters as their god or gods, and who devote their lives to protecting them and keeping them as hidden as possible. There is even speculation among the locals that unsuspecting travellers are sacrificed to the monsters. Food for thought, eh?